Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and to another reaction video. We're about to jump into episode 5 of The Wheel of Time. Alright, so if you guys have been following my channel and reading the community tab posts or know anything that's been going on lately, you'll know that I've been a bit under the weather for the past week. Not feeling super great. So I've gotten kind of behind on filming some of my reactions. Luckily, I had a pretty big backlog that I could pull from in terms of things that just needed to be edited and posted. But yeah, so this is like kind of the first time that I'm pulling myself up in a while to actually sit down and film, and I have to do it because I can't wait. I can't wait any longer to watch the episode. If you guys have been watching the show and you're fans of it so far, I'm sure you understand. So I'm not feeling at my best. I hope you guys won't mind, but I'm excited to watch it nonetheless. And please forgive me, I got popcorn I'm going to be eating some of the time because I haven't eaten anything in like 12 hours. I'm really hungry too. So I'm not like, yeah, I'm not at my best personally, but I'm really excited to keep watching this series. I've been loving it so far. I thought episode 4 was fantastic. Everything I could have hoped for. So I'm really curious to see what they're gonna do in this episode. Alright, so let's get into it, guys. Episode 5 of The Wheel of Time. Here we go. She got her braid. Oh no. Oh god. Oh! A month later. Okay. I didn't expect that, but I mean, I guess it makes sense. Because they're supposed to be traveling for quite a while to get to, oh god. That's so fucking depressing.
This saddle is home. This cloak. These boots. This brooding man at my side. Is she ready for what's waiting in the White City?
Think she talks to me?
She eats every night at the Warder's fire.
She's worried about Stepin.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Warders are not supposed to outlive their Aes Sedai.
Yeah. I'm sure that's not all she's worried about.
Stepin's a strong man. He'll deliver her ring to the tower.
You can stop looking at me like you're my bloody work now. Just tired. A month without a warm bed will do that.
I mean, Rand has spent a month without a warm bed too, and he doesn't look like you.
What? I don't know. I think I've seen it before.
Oh my god.
If I'm as powerful as you say I am, maybe it's you, Aes Sedai, who shouldn't underestimate me.
Oh my god, I love her. And she's like, yeah.
What's going on? Why are we stopping?
Uh-oh. The music turned. Oh no.
Don't know anything about him, but we've been in the grass for months now.
Oh, and having him be here.
Those two. Bring them to me.
Oh no.
You can't just take our people.
They're not your... How exactly do you plan on stopping me?
It's nice. That's nice, but that's not gonna stop them.
The way of belief.
It's not gonna stop them.
Hurry this way.
The growth and cycle.
Oh my.
You come in.
Stay back.
Oh dear, you humans are very excitable. My first day in Tarvalon, I could not believe the uproar. Children cried, women screamed, and a mob chased me all the way across the city waving knives. I'm afraid I was almost beginning to get a little upset. I tell you, it was not for this I left the steading.
Steading? You're an ogre.
Ogier. Loial, son of Arendt, son of Halan. And who are you?
Rand?
Sorry, my geekiness. Okay.
Your name sings in my ears, Rand al'Thor.
Your voice sings in my ears, Loial. It sounds so good.
Much of your people.
Oh.
I'm not an Iuman.
Really? Red hair is one of the few physical traits that can help you work out where a human is from.
I'm from the Two Rivers.
An Iuman from the Two Rivers?
I'm not an Iuman.
An Iuman from the Two Rivers who insists that he is not.
Oh my god!
That is very odd. I like oddities. Other my things.
I'll see you out there.
Always in such a rush, these humans.
Oh my god!
Never taking time to properly prepare for what they're walking into.
He's great. He's great. I mean, we can talk about his appearance later, but... Well... Oh no.
Promise me. I promise. You do the same for me? You bet.
Oh. Can't. I can't. Oh my god. Alright, I'm just gonna calm down a little.
How was the procession?
Oh, what? What are they doing? That was fucking disgusting.
That's better.
I mean, I was afraid of other things, but
Hands.
that was still pretty... Oh god. It was still really disturbingly violating.
No.
I'm sorry.
I can't channel. You said yourself you're sworn to the light. And a man of the light cannot kill a girl who's done nothing wrong.
And what makes you think that I'm a man who stays true to his oaths? That I won't just bleed you out right here and now?
If you're going to do it, then do it. But know this. I'll come back in my next life and split you from head to tail like the pig you are!
You would have made a strong Aes Sedai.
Alright, Egwene.
A wonderful ring to add to my
Oh my
collection.
god. Oh, Jesus.
The Creator never meant for us to have access to so much power.
Oh god. This is...
Witches make a mockery of our
This is how
very
he's gonna try and
existence,
force her into channel.
walking like gods amongst men. The idea that the
Oh,
one
God.
power comes from anywhere other than the dark is absurd.
To the White Tower grounds.
No. But why?
I went there and found the woman you spoke of.
Why the light?
The braid is a distinct rite of passage in the
We thought you were dead.
It was really very simple.
Where's Egwene?
He's just still talking about the braid!
Oh. What happened to him?
Me?
Who else can I be?
I'm alive.
So are you. Kerene.
I don't know if we can trust her.
You saw what the Aes Sedai did to the Force Dragon.
Yeah, but she saw that they had to.
You've done well.
Gwen, stop.
No, you don't need her to channel. What you need is wolves! Wolves! Wolves!
If it has to be one of us, it should be me.
Oh, God.
No.
This is what I deserve.
Oh, no.
It was an accident, Perrin. Not your fault. And it may take you your whole life to realize that. But you will.
Here she goes. She's doing it.
You will.
No! Egwene, no!
You'll find me harder to kill than that girl. Especially with a flame so smooth. In truth, I was expecting more. Yeah, protect me. What are you?
Yes! Here comes Wolf right now. Yeah! It's like, no, no, no. We're here with you. Like, run.
How do you know?
It's like I can hear him. I can hear him. I'm sorry, I oh my god.
Even if the last dragon sealed him away.
That one's pretty short.
Lieutenant, tell me about the wisdom. Nothing to tell. Because you've never been a talker, but I have eyes.
Oh, yes, he sees. He sees it!
Touch the one power for the first time to save your life. I've barely spoken to me since. She's stubborn. Knows her own mind. Knows she's fallen for you. That's a bad idea for her. Love's usually a bad idea. Still, we allow it to happen. This life would be intolerable. Well, I can tolerate a lot. I know.
Oh no. The sleeping tea. Why did he do... Why? Why did he give him the sleeping tea? What is he going to do? That was quite the ending to the episode. Okay, alright, that was heavy. That was heavy. That was heavy. Alright, well, that was episode 5, and I would say I certainly don't feel like I loved this episode to the extent that I loved the last one. But I did feel that it was excellent, and there was a lot of things in it that really got me excited. And I mean, I'm sure you heard the squealing multiple times at various points throughout the episode. Some ridiculousness coming through, but I already know, without even having to, you know, hear anyone else's thoughts on this, without, you know, reading any comments online or interacting with anyone or talking with anyone about it, that that ending is going to be extremely controversial among book readers, and I'm sure people who are not book readers are not gonna see why it would be at all. But for book readers, of course, the extent of emotion that they have Lan portraying here at all, let alone so publicly, is probably, I mean, I feel like there's gonna be some debate surrounding this. I think I'm gonna have to think about it a little while, but for the most part, I think I'm okay with it, because I'm pretty sure I kind of understand the purpose or purposes, some purposes about this. Yeah, and that especially because, so they spent a lot of time this episode with the warders, and talking about Stepin and his feelings in the aftermath of Kerene's death, but also with the other warders, with Alana's warders, and then just speaking about warders in general and their relationships with Aes Sedai. And I think, obviously, a lot of that is intended as foreshadowing, and there was specific foreshadowing in there at multiple instances of pretty significant things that will happen later in the story that I'm not going to mention because I don't want to spoil anything for people that don't know it. But yeah, lots of different interesting foreshadowing choices that were made in this episode. So obviously, I mean, a lot of the purpose of this is to set those things in motion for the future, and establish more in a concrete manner the depth of the bond between Aes Sedai and warder, and what that means and what can happen to a warder in the aftermath of losing an Aes Sedai. And I think this in particular, like, the ending kind of highlights that a lot of what they were doing here wasn't just to set it up for the overall context of the story where it's important, but also specifically to give us more information about the bond between Moiraine and Lan in particular, and the place that they currently are at. You know, they hit a lot of times in this episode in very indirect ways, and a couple times in direct ways, and they've done this in the rest of the season as well, but not as overtly as this episode, I guess. Hit on the concern of Lan for Moiraine dying. You know, we explicitly saw her near death for a couple of episodes, and like, he was trying everything he could possibly to save her. And like, obviously she's going into a continuously even more dangerous situation, that threat will be over her and Lan the entire time. And the fear that is there is about how Lan would cope with Moiraine's death, and that's not just his own fear. Like, you can see that when he's watching Stepin, when he's seeing him first at the funeral with Kerene. You know, he's obviously thinking about that. When he's seeing Stepin with the ring, he's thinking about that, and you see him later when he puts his hand on Moraine's ring. You know, he's imagining himself in that position. And she's thinking about it too, is the other thing. And she's thinking about it with grave concern, especially now after what Stepin has done. And I think that is really the overall point of this story here, is to demonstrate the immense inner turmoil they're both experiencing in this moment, not just because of the loss of friends of theirs who have now died, but because of the fear of this could be Moiraine that could die. She almost did die, and she could die at any point. And what would that mean, and how would Lan, like, process it? Would it destroy him in the way that it destroyed Stepin? And so you see Moiraine clearly worrying about that a lot. You could see the concern, the fear written all over her face at the end, in the end of this episode. And you can see her thinking about it a lot and discussing it with Alana. And I mean, so I think that's really the overall central purpose of having this scene at the end here. And that sort of, his kind of emotional breakdown here and the way that he's yelling can be seen as that finally, all that pent-up fear and pain and just tension kind of coming to the surface in a place where it seemingly is appropriate, because he's not going to be doing that typically. And then secondarily, I think it's pretty clear. I mean, they were saying for him to relieve them of their grief. So my understanding, or I could be wrong, but my understanding of this is that he is supposed to be the representative of the collective grief of the group. So whether it's that he's like they're directly channeling their pain into him, so he's like experiencing all of their pain simultaneously, whether it's actually that extreme, or if it's just that he is representing that, so he needs to make the more public display because of what he's representing. One or the other, but either way, I think we can take it, suffice it to say that if he was not the person that was chosen to play that role, Lan wouldn't be, say, if he was standing back next to Moiraine, he would not be that publicly showing his pain. He absolutely wouldn't. He's doing it because that is what he was supposed to do in this role. So I do think a lot of people are going to be not so pleased about it, but I don't really have a problem with it per se, especially because I think it also serves another purpose. And we had Stepin, you know, commenting to Lan about Nynaeve, and then you see her watching him and the pain that she's starting to feel from seeing his pain there as well. And that, of course, also ties back into what he was saying to Stepin about it would not be good for her to love him, and what we all know is surely the going to be the turn of events between the two of them in upcoming episodes. So I think it actually works to lay a lot of groundwork, but I can also see why people will probably be not super pleased about it. So, but then the other thing that I do just want to kind of comment, because people have talked about the Lan, how he's represented as somewhat more emotional, even in the earlier episodes of the show, even from things like occasionally laughing or smiling. And I get it. I get, because if you like love these books and you feel like you don't feel like any changes really improve on things in any way, you would not necessarily be a fan of that. But I do think we need to keep in mind the differences between visual media and a written text. I'm just imagining if Lan was viewed as stoically on screen as he is written in the books, especially because we don't get as much of his interactions with them in the show as we do in the books, you know, for character building or anything along those lines. I think, especially for non-book readers, that he would not be a compelling character. He would just come across as like wooden, as not really even present or significant. It would be hard for people to feel a sort of attachment to him. So I don't know, that them adding more emotion to him is not necessarily something I have a huge significant problem with anyway. I know that's not gonna, some people are not gonna like that, but that's how it is. But anyway, moving on from that, I'd say what we saw the rest of the episode I really thoroughly enjoyed. The Perrin and Egwene scenes were very, very cool. The last couple of episodes, I've been kind of like, their scenes haven't been bad, but they've been the least exciting to me, I would say. And this episode, fantastic. Honestly, Valda is every bit as horrifying as I could possibly have imagined. They've done a great job with him. They've done a great job of incorporating him earlier in the story and bringing him into this here. I was super afraid of what was about to happen with Egwene when they showed them taking her clothes off of her, and I'm glad it's not what I was afraid might be happening. What actually happened makes so much more sense for them, in particular, to have done, but it's also, I mean, it's still extremely personally violating, and very creepy, so I do think that was well done, and it was done, like, you could feel how grossed out and horrified she was in the midst of it. I was super hyped when we were seeing Perrin's eyes and then the wolves. I mean, that's one thing I'm also kind of curious about is, for non-book readers, what exactly do you think is going on there now at this point? Because I've heard some interesting speculation so far, and I'm very curious if people have kind of figured it out or if they don't know what's happening. But I really loved the way that they had Valda react to seeing him, and he's like, "What are you?" And the terror that he displayed. That was fantastic. I was a very big fan of that, so I was really happy with their scenes. I was happy with the Rand and Mat stuff. I mean, there was certainly, again, some other stuff directly hinted, foreshadowed at in there that I'm not gonna say, but that was very well done. And that also, like, tying in with the Logain viewing and laughing, it's clear they're doing certain things with purpose, and to book readers it's clear what the purpose is. But I do think it's well done. It's being well done. And I'm thoroughly enjoying the journey. And then I really also enjoyed the Rand and Nynaeve coming back together and their conversation, and they seem to have a good rapport, the two of them, the actors, which is obviously significant. It's going to be important. So I was very pleased to see that. And Loial, he was great. I know he looks kind of weird. I don't even know exactly what I was picturing reading the books. It certainly wasn't that. He was obviously going to be much bigger, and I mean, I'm not sure 100% about every element of his appearance, but I also know that choices were made so that they could have him be a more central character without having to do a lot of CGI and shit. And I think his sound, the way he's written, the way he interacts, that scene where he brings Nynaeve in and then she runs up to Rand and they're hugging and having this huge emotional moment, and he's just talking in the background, like not even noticing that they aren't paying attention anymore, just going on about what he knows about Bragans and the Two Rivers, was amazing. It was perfect. He was there. He was alive. And so I was really excited. I was really happy about that, and I'm excited to see more of him going forward, because so far, A+. All the way through with that. So yeah, I will say, like, overall, I really enjoyed this episode, and I'm very psyched to continue on. I've heard a lot of people have said that episode 6 is their favorite out of the 6 episodes that some people have been able to see or screened. So I'm really excited for that, because I thought that episode 4 was out of this world, and then this episode was also excellent. So I'm really curious to see what is going to happen in episode 6 and where we're going from here. And yeah, so I think I've babbled on long enough. So definitely let me know your thoughts, guys. I'm sure people are going to have a variety of opinions, especially on all the stuff around Lan. And I'm definitely curious to hear what other people have to say and think about it. So, all right. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and hopefully I will see you next time. Bye.